right. We are back with another live stream commentary. It is a bright and early morning as we're about to watch and commentate Game 3, the series finale of the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was a heck of a ball game last night. I'm just glad we got the win. That's all I'm gonna say. I already said what I had to say last night. Hoping that no matter what, the bullpen they just show up today. And I know it wasn't the whole bullpen. In fact, one of the reasons we actually ended up winning the game was because of the bullpen. But no, it's just certain players that have to pick it up, and obviously Ryan Thompson's not going to pitch today. But I don't know. Even with how Paul Sewald, even with how effective he's been this season, I don't. After yesterday, I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel confident in him in the closer role anymore. And in fact, I don't really want to see him in the closer role anymore. It's one thing to have like one bad start or like one bad appearance. It's gonna happen. You're not gonna be perfect, but he's been very rocky as of late. And blowing a 3-run lead especially with back-to-back home runs, that's just unacceptable. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. My opinion, I don't think he should close anymore. So that was kind of the icing on the cake for me. But looking at the starting pitchers today, it is going to be Eduardo Rodriguez versus Jared Jones on the mound. Two very quality pitchers in my opinion. Obviously, I already know about Erod. But looking at Jared Jones' stats, he has been very good as of late. In his last two starts, I believe he's only given up one earned run in each of those starts. Yeah. And then the game before those two games, he faced Atlanta and gave up no earned runs in 6 innings. So he has been very solid. In 3 starts, essentially, he's given a 1 run or less in each start. So not going to be easy today. Definitely I know Mitch Keller had a great game in game 1, but definitely I think Jones is going to be the toughest pitcher we're facing in this series. And speaking of Jared Jones, he is 2-1 on the year, 3.72 ERA. As we take a look at the stats on the TV, just like that, looks like we are gonna get this ball game going as Corbin Carroll steps into the box to lead off this ball game. Here's the first pitch to Corbin. That's gonna be a fastball. That's gonna miss outside for ball 1. As we get this ball game started. 1-0 count to Corbin Carroll. That's gonna be hit opposite field. Reynolds is gonna have a play on it. Has to roll to his right a bit, but has a good amount of space before he hits the foul ball wall. So that's gonna be out number 1. It's going to bring up Geraldo Perdomo in the 2-hole. He's going to show bunt, going to pull it back on the inside slider. And Perdomo, slowly but surely, he hasn't picking it up with the bat. He hasn't had amazing games, but it hasn't been as bad as the slump he's been, I guess, if that makes sense. It's going to be strike 1 though on the fastball. He's 2 for 12 this series, so he's actually not having the best series, but 1 ball, 1 strike to Perdomo. That's going to be a slider in there for strike 2. And just like that, Perdomo is going to have to protect 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Perdomo is going to call time. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Perdomo. That's going to be fouled out of play on the high heat, 99 miles per hour. Just like that, we'll be going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes to Perdomo. That's going to be a swing and a miss on the slider as Perdomo comes up empty for strike number 3. That's going to be out number 2. And that is going to bring up Gabriel Moreno in the 3 hole, as the first 3 hitters for this D-backs lineup has looked pretty much the same this whole series. And Moreno is going to foul that one off at 100 miles per hour, the fastball. It's going to be no balls, 1 strike to Gabby. That's going to be in the dirt. They're going to say Moreno went on that swing. Going to be strike number 2. Gabby kind of having an off series as well. He's 1 for 10. Still has the on base streak going, but just has not been as effective at the plate recently. It's going to be no balls and 2 strikes to Moreno. And he's going to strike out swinging as a dominant inning from Jared Jones there to get the game started. And we're going to head to the bottom of the first, as it's 3 up, 3 down for Jared Jones. Let's see what E-Rod can do as we go to the bottom of the first. And as I was mentioning with Jared Jones' last 3 starts, he's already looking very dominant. 2 strikeouts, making hitters look pretty silly there. Alright, that is going to bring up Eduardo Rodriguez to start this bottom of the first, pitching for the D-backs. 9-3 on the year, 2.64 ERA. As other than Soroka, who got injured before the injury, him and Rodriguez have been our only dominant pitcher, so it's pretty much just him left now. And it looks like Nick Gonzalez will actually be leading off in this lineup, as Jake Mangum gets a day off center. Here's the first pitch to Nick Gonzalez. Gonna be ball upstairs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez. That's gonna be an opposite field shot to right center over the head of Vargas right there. And just like that, it's gonna be a leadoff single for these Pittsburgh Pirates. That was a nice piece of contact off the bat. What I am worried about is how much damage, especially the 2 and 3 hitters did yesterday, and they're still playing today. The 2, 3, 4 hitters look exactly the same. The Flau, Reynolds, and Valdez. So Erod's gonna have to focus. That's gonna be a first pitch ball on the outside cutter. Gonna be 1 ball and no strikes to Lau. That's gonna be a ground ball, but right to Tawa. He's gonna throw to second. Perdomo throws back to first, and that's gonna be a double play for the Arizona Diamondbacks. What a great recovery by Eduardo Rodriguez. And Rodriguez didn't even need to hustle over there. Tim Tawa fields the ground ball, throws a Perdomo at second, and then he gets back to first base to catch the second out to finish the double play. Just great awareness by Tim Tawa there. He wasn't even looking at the bag. Still managed to find it, so it's a great double play for the D-backs. As just like that's gonna be a quick 2 outs. And that brings up Brian Reynolds, who tied the game yesterday. A solo shot home run to keep the Pirates alive. That was heartbreaking to watch, especially for Paul Sewald. You know, I love the guy. I never want to root against one of our players, you know, so whenever I talk about him, it's not to be negative on purpose, but it is super unfortunate to see how he's been playing lately. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if I want him in the closing role anymore, especially after last night. It's just, you cannot have that happen. And that's going to be a fly ball. That's going to get into right field. And Vargas is going to run that one down. Nice catch over the shoulder. And just like that, Pirates do manage to get a runner to first base on the leadoff single. But after the double play, nice recovery from Erod. And we're going to go to the top of the second. Game is still tied 0-0. For the D-backs, that is going to bring up Ketel Marte, Max Kepler, and Nolan Arenado. Ketel is playing, but he is getting the start at the designated hitter spot as Ildemaro Vargas will be playing at second. And looking around the league really quick, I don't believe there's too many games going on right now, as this is one of the earlier games today. Actually, scratch that. The Phillies and Marlins are playing their series finale. As that is a big game, as we're actually 1 game behind the Phillies for the second spot in the wild card. The Phillies have not been doing as hot as of lately. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. They've lost the last 2 to Miami. Nationals are warming up against the Blue Jays right now. That'll be an important game. But as of right now, those are the only 2 important ones, I believe. This is going to bring up Ketel Marte, who takes a slider upstairs for ball 1. He is 2 for 10 this series. Another player not having a great series at the plate. That's going to be popped up to the second baseman at Lau. And that's going to be out number 1. Going to bring up Max Kepler, Now Kepler is having a nice series. One of the few D-backs. He is 4 for 9, so definitely seeing the ball a lot better than his teammates. Here's the first pitch to Kepler. That's gonna be a great pitch location on the low fastball. Just clips the bottom of the zone for strike one. No balls and one strike to Max Kepler. That's going to be chopped foul to the backstop for strike two. And Kepler is going to call time right now. Jared Jones ahead in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a fastball outside. This guy's just throwing heat right now, 99 miles per hour. As I mentioned, he did hit 100 earlier, so 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 Max Kepler. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be strike 3 just on the outside part of the zone. Just clipped it. That's going to be strike 3 as Kepler cannot swing the bat on that one. That's going to be out number 2. That's going to bring up Nolan Arenado. That's going to be a swing and miss on the slider for strike 1. I did take a look at how D-backs hitters have done against Jones in his career. And not a lot of D-backs hitters have actually gone against him. There wasn't a lot of numbers to go off of, so this is a pitcher they just haven't faced that much. It's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike after that. Ball misses in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Arenado. That's going to be a great slider. Bends back into the strike zone. For strike 2 as Arenado cannot pull the trigger. And just like that, Jared Jones potentially going to be able to make this another quick inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be chopped foul off Arenado's foot. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Great take by Arenado as the slider misses well outside. Going to be ball 2. Tim Tawa awaits on deck. He gets to start at first base. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss on the slider for Arenado. He's going to strike out swinging. And Jared Jones just looking phenomenal so far. D-backs still hitless as we go to the bottom of the second. And I have a feeling this is going to be another pitcher's duel similar to game 1 where Merrill Kelly and Mitch Keller were just throwing up zeros left and right. All the way until like at least the 6th inning, I think. I mean, Jared Jones is absolutely already showing that today, and as long as Erod can keep it up, it's going to be just like game 1. And for these Pirates, it's going to be Esmeralyn Valdez in the cleanup spot, Ryan O'Hearn, and then Marcell Ozuna, the designated hitter. They will be hitting in this bottom of the second. Here's the first pitch to Valdez. As that fastball is going to miss outside for ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and miss on the low changeup. Just can't make contact with that one for strike one. One ball, one strike. Swing and miss. Fastball gets by him. Pretty much right down the middle, but Valdez can't catch up. One ball, two strikes as Valdez has to protect now. That's gonna miss upstairs for ball two. Count is even. Two balls, two strikes. That's gonna be chopped foul. Count is even. 2-2 to Esmeralyn Valdez. Rodriguez starts his windup. Here's the pitch. That's gonna miss upstairs once again. Valdez does not pull the trigger for ball three. It's gonna be a full count. Three balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. That's gonna be a grounder right to Arenado at the hot corner. He's gonna throw on the first. Valdez almost able to beat that out, but Arenado not worried about that one. That's gonna be out number one. It's gonna bring in Ryan O'Hearn. Maybe a first pitch strike on the cutter, right down the middle. Oh, one pitch. That's gonna be hit high and deep to center field. Bros is gonna get to it just before the warning track, though. That's gonna be out number two. And just like that's gonna bring up Marcell Ozuna, who did contribute to that comeback last night. I believe he did get an RBI base knock to get the game closer to a tie. Here's the first pitch to Ozuna. It's gonna be strike one on the cutter. Oh, one pitch. Gonna miss upstairs for ball one. One ball and one strike to Marcell Ozuna. Gonna be a swing and miss on the fastball. Was a strike upstairs, but just not able to get a piece of it. One ball and two strikes to Ozuna. Rodriguez sitting at 19 pitches. That's going to be grounded to Tawa at first base. He fields that cleanly. He's going to step on the bag himself with ease. And that's going to end the bottom of the second inning as the score remains tied 0-0. We head to the top of the third. Wow, very unfortunate for Curtis Mead. As they were just talking about how he did get put on the 10-day IL after they just got him first first game for him and he gets hurt. That's unfortunate. Gonna bring in Tim Tawa though. He's gonna take a slider for strike one. As the count is even 1-1. It's gonna be a pop up. It's gonna be in foul territory, but it looks playable for Ryan O'Hearn. It is. He gets under for out number one. It's gonna bring up Eldemaro Vargas in the 8 spot. The big swing and miss on the high fastball. No balls and 1 strike to Vargas. Gonna be chopped right in front of the catcher. He's gonna feel that. Davis throws to first base. And that's gonna be a quick out number 2. As Jones is just mowing them down. It's gonna bring up Jorge Barroso, who gets the start in center over Ryan Walshman. And I've already said my say about Barrosa playing over Walshman. I understand if Walshman definitely needs a break. I guess that does make sense, but the past 2 games where Barrosa has come in, I just not been happy with that decision there. And Barrosa is gonna hit a fly ball to left field. Has a bit of carry to it, but Reynolds is gonna get under it for out number 3. Another inning, 3 up, 3 down. As Jared Jones just has looked very effective through his first time through the D-backs lineup. As we head to the bottom of the 3rd. As I mentioned, this game is looking very similar to the first one. And going back to that Phillies and Marlins game, the Phillies have taken a 3-0 lead in the going to the bottom of the 4th now. Phillies scored 2 in the 3. In the 3rd inning, they scored 1 in the 4th. As they're looking to not get swept. That's going to bring up Jared Triolo. He gets to start at shortstop. Going to be a first pitch ball to Triolo. Is the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be... Oh, thought that was ball 2, but Questionable strike call, but we'll take it on the cutter. 1-1 the count. That's going to be fouled. Going to get out of play. Going to be Jared Triolo Garcia. He gets to start in center field today. I have to hear the pronunciation of his first name, though, before I butcher it. And it's going to be Henry Davis at catcher after him in the 9-hole. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be popped up. Perdomo is going to get under it. And that is going to be out number 1. And here's the first pitch to Garcia. First pitch swinging, he fouls that one off. Oh, 1 the count. That changeup is just gonna miss outside. One. Swing and miss on the low changeup. That's a bit outside, but Garcia cannot make contact with that. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jostinskin? Okay, Jostinskin. That's going to be my challenge today, saying his name right. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jostinskin Garcia. Ooh, fouled off Gabby's mask as the mask comes flying off. He's okay, though. It's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Garcia. Rodriguez starts his windup. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball right to Perdomo. He's going to field that. Throw on the first. That's going to be out number 2. It's going to bring up Henry Davis, the catcher, in the 9-hole with 2 outs. That curveball misses low for ball 1. One 0. That's going to be fouled off. One ball and 1 strike to Davis. Here's the pitch. It's going to be popped up. Out of play, though, behind the backstop. One ball and 2 strikes to Henry Davis. Swing and miss on a fastball that was up and in. And that's going to be strike 3. And just like that, that's going to be the 3rd out in the bottom of the 3rd. We're heading to the top of the 4th. As both pitchers have just looked great during their first time through the lineup. As we head to the top of the 4th, it's going to bring up Corbin Carroll, Perdomo, and Gabriel Moreno. Score is still tied 0-0. As I'm hoping after that first time through the lineup against Jared Jones, D-backs hopefully have taken some notes on what they can do this time around. As I mentioned, Corbin Carroll will lead off. Top of the fourth. Maybe a high fastball for ball one. And that changeup is just going to be a tad outside for ball two. Two balls, no strikes, to Corbin Carroll. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a liner to right center. And Corbin Carroll is going to try for two. He's hustling. He's going to get there easily. Slides in there. And that's going to be a lead-off double in the top of the fourth. Great start. Courtesy of Corbin Carroll right there. That's going to bring up Geraldo Perdomo. Now for runner in scoring position, looking to get him in. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be in the dirt. Slider, ball one. Perdomo 0 for 1. He did strike out in the first. Whoa. Perdomo called time at the last second. And Jones was already in his motion as he flings that pitch. One 0 pitch to Perdomo. That's going to be popped up. Going to get to Garcia in center field. And that's going to be out number one. Corbin Carroll does have to stay at second. Going to bring up Gabby. He also was a strikeout victim in the first inning. And Corbin Carroll's going to try stealing third. And he gets in there safely. What a great slide by Corbin Carroll. Just gets under the tag. And just like that, a sacrifice fly will now bring in the run. Great jump by Corbin Carroll there. Was pretty close at third base, but just gets in there safely. That was actually very close. And the Pirates are actually going to challenge this. Looked very close. Oh no. Initially, Corbin Carroll looks like he does beat the tag, but there is a chance that left leg may have come off the bag for just a split second. as this is a very big call coming up. Here's the call. And the call is going to stand. Corbin Carroll is safe at third base. As I think it was just way too close to overturn anything right there. Going back to Gabby's at bat, it's going to be 0-1 to him. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to deep center field. Going all the way back, and that's going to be a 2-run shot for Gabriel Moreno. That ball had a lot of carry to it, and just like that's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Arizona Diamondbacks in the top of the fourth. I thought Garcia might have a chance to get that at the warning track, but that ball just kept carrying. And a great stolen base by Corbin Carroll, but it's not going to matter. I thought for sure that was just going to be a sacrifice fly, but Gabby had other things in mind. That's a great home run to get this D-backs offense going. It's going to be 2-0 in the top of the fourth. It's going to bring up Ketel Marte with a 1-1 count right now. Love to see that for Gabriel Moreno. He's not necessarily had like a terrible series at the plate, but just a much different one than the Washington series. Ketel Marte is ahead 2-1 in the count. Here's the pitch. As that slider misses outside for ball 3. And as Jared Jones, he has been dominating this D-backs lineup. And finally unravels a little bit there. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Going to be shot foul to make it full count. Three balls and 2 strikes to Ketel Marte. Here's a pitch from Jones. That's going to be popped up. It's going to get to Nick Gonzalez at third base. He's going to make the catch for out number 2. Going to bring up Max Kepler, the lefty. And that slider's just going to nip the outside zone for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be a fastball high and away. Kepler checks his swing just in time for ball 1. And not even just a 2-run home run there. D-backs doing a great job of making Jones work this inning. And that's going to be going opposite field, but right to Reynolds in left field for the fly out. That's going to be out number 3, but not before Gabriel Moreno hits a 2-run shot to dead center to give the D-backs a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. And going back to that Phillies and Marlins game, the Phillies have broke it wide open. They've scored 3 runs in the 5th inning now. It is now a 6-0 lead for the Phillies in the top of the 5th. As that game looks like it is getting out of reach for the Marlins. Blue Jays and Nationals still tied in the top of the 2nd. Only other important game for the wild card race is the Cubs and Cardinals, but that does not start until 4:45, so really just going to be the Marlins and Phillies and Nationals and Blue Jays. And just like that's going to bring up the top of the order for these Pittsburgh Pirates, second time around through the lineup. As Nick Gonzalez will lead off the bottom of the 4th. That's going to be strike 1 on the first pitch. And he's going to take a hack at that cutter, come up empty for strike 2. Gonzalez had a nice base knock in the first inning to lead off this ball game for the Pirates. No balls and 2 strikes as Gonzalez is going to have to battle here. Here's the pitch. And that fastball is going to miss upstairs for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes. That's going to be another opposite field hit. But this time, Corbin Carroll is going to get there in time. Runs that one down for out number 1. Going to bring up Brandon Lau, the power hitting lefty. And that curveball is going to land in the top of the zone for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be a liner. It's going to get past Vargas into center field for a base knock. It's going to bring up Brian Reynolds with a runner on first base and 1 out. That cutter is going to miss inside for ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Reynolds. And that's going to be strike 1 on the fastball. Reynolds is going to call time here. Looks like Brian Reynolds did get something in the left eyeball. And here comes a trainer to help him out. And Reynolds is going to step back into the box. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. That's actually going to drop right in front of Kepler as it died down. As Kepler did not have the greatest jump there. As that ball was up in the air for a while, but just could not get there. And it's going to be runners on first and second with 1 out. Here comes Valdez in the cleanup spot. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be upstairs on the cutter for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Valdez. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss on the high cutter. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike to Valdez. As that changeup's just going to miss low for ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike. That's going to be a ground ball to Perdomo. Potential double play is going to throw to Valdez. Or Vargas, I mean. And that's going to be an inning-ending double play. Great recovery from Rodriguez after back-to-back hits to make it runners on first and second. But nonetheless, Eduardo gets out of it. As we're now going to head to the top of the 5th. D-backs still leading 2-0. As this ball game is just flying by, we're already in the top of the 5th. Just under the 1 hour mark. It's going to bring up Nolan Arenado. He takes a first pitch strike. That's going to be a high fly ball to left field. Reynolds is going to get under it, though, for out number 1. And as I mentioned before the series started, I need the D-backs to take at least 2 games in the series. Hopefully, be able to finish it off today. It's going to be a first pitch strike on the slider to Tim Tawa. No balls and 1 strike. Just going to miss low and away on the fastball for ball 1. Count is even at 1-1. That's going to be a big swing and miss on the low slider. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 Tawa. And that's going to be another filthy slider, low and away as Tim Tawa cannot catch up to it. Whiffs at that one. That's going to be strike 3 for out number 2. It's going to bring up Ildemaro Vargas with 2 outs. Going to show bunt, but pulls back on the outside fastball for ball 1. Vargas 0 for 1. He grounded out in the 3rd inning. Going to call time right here. One 0 is the count. Going to be a fastball just close to top of the zone for strike 1, though. As Jones he's just had great pitch location. Count is even at 1-1. That slider is going to be in the dirt for ball 2. Like a pretty cloudy day in Pittsburgh today. Another slider in the dirt. As Vargas is not biting at that. It's going to be ball 3. Jorge Barroso waits on deck. 3 balls and 1 strike to Vargas. Here's the pitch. That's just gonna miss the inside lower corner. And just like that, Vargas is gonna get on base with a walk. Gonna be a runner on first base with 2 outs. Here comes Jorge Barrosa in the 9 hole. That's gonna be a first pitch strike as the slider just grazes the outside zone. Barrosa 0 for 1. He flew out in the 3rd. And Barrosa's gonna call time as these D-backs hitters just trying to disrupt the rhythm for Jared Jones on the mound. And that's gonna be a fly ball to right field as Valdez gets under that very easily for out number 3. It's gonna end the top of the 5th. D-backs able to get a runner on, but can do nothing with it. And for the Pirates, it is going to be Ryan O'Hearn, Marcell Ozuna, and Jared Triolo for the bottom of the fifth. And just as I mentioned, a cloudy day in Pittsburgh, it looks like the sun is coming out. As O'Hearn is going to foul off that first pitch. That's going to be a sinker that misses inside for ball one. One and one. Going to be popped up. Arenado. Oh, okay. Looked like for a chance Arenado might have a play on that, but just gets out of play. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Rodriguez did just throw his 50th pitch of the ball game, doing great with the pitch count. O'Hearn's 0 for 1, flew out in the second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a sharp grounder right to Nolan Arenado at third. He's going to throw on the first for out number 1. Here comes Ozuna to the plate. He is 0 for 1. That's going to be a high strike on the cutter. Definitely should have been a ball, but Ozuna does not challenge that. And that curveball, great pitch location. Gets the outside of the zone for strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's a sinker right down the middle. Not a great pitch there, but Ozuna just fouls it off. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped up. And it's going to be playable for Tawa in foul territory. And that's going to be out number 2. As Rodriguez a chance to make this another quick inning. It's going to bring up Jared Triolo, the shortstop. He is 0 for 1 with a pop out. That's going to be an inside cutter for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. That's going to be a swing and miss on the outside changeup. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled out of play. One ball and 2 strikes. That's going to go opposite field into right field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Triolo right there. That's going to be a runner on first base with 2 outs. And Triolo's going to be going, and he's going to get into second base of a stolen base. Guessing there pretty easily. Now going to be a runner on second base of 2 outs. As the Pirates have a chance to get a run across. That was steal number 8 for Triolo. 1-0 count to Garcia. Swing and miss on the low change for strike 1. One count. Swing and miss once again. This time on a high fastball. It's going to be strike 2. And Garcia's going to call time here. Rodriguez sets 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on second base with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fought off. In new foul territory. Going to get out of play. One, two, the count. That's going to be fouled off again. Just misses the glove of Moreno. Once again, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball. As Garcia not making this an easy out for Rodriguez. That's going to be a ground ball right to Prodamo. He fields that cleanly. Throws on the first. And a great job by Rodriguez to strand the runner at second base. As Rodriguez throws up another 0 as we head to the top of the 6th. As the top of the lineup with Corbin Carroll will lead off the top of the 6th. As the D-backs still lead 2-0. And looks like the Miami Marlins are kind of crawling back into the game. Now they're down 6-3 as they had a 3-run 5th inning. Blue Jays and Nationals still nothing in that game. In the bottom of the 3rd. Looking at the hits, it's going to be only 2 hits for these D-backs. But because of that great home run from Gabriel Moreno, That's all they need so far. 4 hits for the Pirates. And as I mentioned, it's going to be Corbin Carroll leading off the top of the 6th. He's going to take that into right field, but right to Valdez in right field. For a second, I thought that might be another base hit, but unfortunately, right at the right fielder. That's going to be out number 1. It's going to bring up Geraldo Perdomo. He's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a flyout. Shows bunt. Pulls it back, but is going to be a strike nonetheless. Jones sitting at 60 pitches in the top of the 6th. That 0-1 pitch is going to miss low on the slider for ball 1. One the count. And that slider's going to miss outside for ball 2. Going to be interesting to see how long Jones goes in this game. Once again, doing great with the pitch count. Only a 2-0 lead for the D-backs. That's going to be popped up into left field. Reynolds is going to run in for that easily. Going to make the catch for out number 2. It's going to bring up Gabriel Moreno, who had the 2-run shot to center to give the D-backs the lead in the 4th inning. Takes the first pitch of ball. 1-0 is the count. It's going to be in there for a strike on the fastball, strike 1. Count is even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss upstairs for ball 2. That fastball is going to miss outside for ball 3. Ketel Marte waits on deck. He's 0 for 2. Nice take by Gabriel Moreno there. Great at bat. As he's going to get on first base courtesy of the base on balls. Going to be a runner on first at 2 outs. As I mentioned, it's going to bring up Ketel Marte now. Going to be a pick off to first. Moreno gets back there safely. Marte not having the greatest game at the plate. 2 pop-ups for him. Jones says, here's the pitch. That's going to be up and away for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be a line drive just past Lau into right center. And Moreno is going to round second base and head into third. And just like that, runners on the corners with 2 outs. D-backs have a chance to extend this lead. Great hit by Ketel Marte. going to bring up Max Kepler. As another inning, hasn't been a lot of innings in this ballgame, but another inning where they're making Jared Jones work on the mound. And with the way he's been pitching, definitely need that. Here comes Max Kepler. He is 0 for 2, struck out and lined out. Jones sets. Here's the first pitch to Kepler. Swing and a miss on the fastball, up and away. And that's going to be a ball, up and in fastball. Count is even at 1-1. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch from Jones. That's going to be fouled out of play. Fastball right down the middle. And just like that, Jones is one strike away from stranding the runners on first and third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to miss up and away for ball 2. Count is even at 2-2, and Kepler is going to call time. Two balls and 2 strikes to Kepler. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a line drive. Just gets past a diving Lau. Going to get into right field, and that's going to be an RBI single for Max Kepler. Great job of hitting right there. And just like that, it's going to be a 3-0 lead for these D-backs in the top of the 6th. What a great rip right there. And with the way the Pirates came back yesterday, just love to get any kind of insurance runs you can get. As the D-backs are starting to get to Jared Jones now. Going to be a first pitch, ball away on the fastball to Nolan Arenado. Arenado, he is 0 for 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be a chopper to Nick Gonzalez at third. He's going to step on the bag. Great play by Gonzalez to step on the bag. Before Ketel Marte gets there, it's going to end. I'm sorry. Well, it is going to end the top of the 6th. As the D-backs get an insurance run thanks to Max Kepler on the RBI single. And the D-backs lead 3-0 heading to the bottom of the 6th. Great job by Max Kepler there. It's going to be Henry Davis in the 9 hole. Going to foul that one back to get this bottom of the 6 going. It's going to be Henry Davis in the top of the Pittsburgh lineup. Nick Gonzalez and Brandon Lau. That changeup's just going to miss outside for ball 1. Henry Davis 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd. That changeup's going to miss outside as well for ball 2. Rodriguez about to throw pitch number 70. That's going to be popped up into center. And looks like Barossa is going to get under it for out number 1. Here comes Nick Gonzalez. He is 1 for 2 today. A single. Here's the first pitch. Gonna miss in the dirt on the fastball for ball 1. One 0 count. That's gonna be a fly ball. And Barossa is gonna get just in there for out number 2. Didn't have to move much on that. Took a weird jump on it at first, so I thought that looked a little bit sketchy at first, but nonetheless, it's going to be out number 2. As Rodriguez just getting very quick outs, continuing on with his dominance. Here comes Brandon Lau. He is also 1 for 2 with a single. Going to be a cutter, misses outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that curveball is going to be called strike. How did Lau not challenge that? That was so low. Nonetheless, 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Gonna be a big swing and miss on the changeup. Comes up empty. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Lau. Here's the pitch. Gonna check his swing, and they're gonna say he held up there. Gonna be an even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez starts his windup. Here's the pitch. That's gonna be grounded down the first base line for a foul ball. Two balls and 2 strikes. That's going to be a swing and miss on the low changeup as Rodriguez is just dominating this game. And just like that, that's going to be out number 3 on the strikeout as we head to the top of the 7th. D-backs still leading 3-0. What a great pitching performance from Erod today. He is absolutely dealing today. As the Pirates are running out of chances to score some runs. Miami Marlins, they do get another run in the 7th. As right now they are only down 6-4 as they are crawling back. And currently they have runners on first and second in the bottom of the seventh with one out. Blue Jays and Nationals still tied 0-0, but the Nationals do have a runner on third with two outs in the bottom of the fourth. And both ball clubs sitting at 4 hits apiece in this ball game. And it looks like that will be it for Jared Jones on the mound as Carmen Majinski. ERA 3.36, 6-3 on the year through 23 games. As he starts Tawa out with a ball. That's going to be a high fly ball. Actually, a pop-up to shortstop. And Trio is going to get under that for out number 1. And other than the 2-run shot by Gabriel Moreno, Jared Jones looked very great in this ballgame. Continued his dominance. Well, actually, Max Kepler did have that RBI single. But, Pirates just have not been able to back him up offensively. Gonna bring in Ildemaro Vargas. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. That's gonna be driven into right center. That's gonna go all the way to the wall. Splits the gap. And that's gonna be an extra base hit for Ildemaro Vargas with 1 out. Runner on second base now. That was a great rip by Vargas there. As the D-backs have another chance to get another insurance run and extend this lead. Here comes Jorge Barroso. That was double number 15 for Vargas. It's going to be ball 1 on the fastball. Barroso, he is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Definitely want to get this out here with the top of the order coming up. And that's going to be a pop-up for Barroso. And Garcia is going to get under that for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Corbin Carroll as he gets the top of the lineup going. Corbin Carroll, he is 1 for 3 today. Had a great double in the 4th. As Moreno was able to drive him in on that home run. Here's the first pitch. That splitter misses outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Corbin Carroll. Here's the pitch. That splitter's going to miss inside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. That's going to miss upstairs for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes to Corbin Carroll. That's going to be a sinker on the outside of the zone for strike 1. Perdomo waits on deck. He just hasn't had a great game at the plate today, so definitely want to get Corbin out here. Or I guess I should say, if Perdomo comes up, walking Corbin instead of him getting a base knock would be nice here for Pittsburgh. 3 balls and 1 strike to Corbin Carroll. And the pitcher's going to step off the mound. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Corbin. That's going to be popped up as Garcia gets under that in center field. That's going to be out number 3. D-backs not able to get the runner on second base in the score as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Going to bring in Brian Reynolds to start the bottom of the 7th. He takes a low ball. It's going to be Reynolds, Valdez, and Ryan O'Hearn. And that pitch is also going to miss low for ball 2. Reynolds 1 for 2 for single. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's going to be a nice cutter in there for strike 1. This will be the 82nd pitch for Rodriguez. Potentially could be Erod's last inning. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 Reynolds. Going to be fouled out of play. Count is now even at 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Just misses upstairs. Ball 3. Full count pitch coming up to Reynolds. Here's the pitch. That's going to be ball 4 on the high sinker. Just like that, Pirates get a runner on base with no outs. Leadoff walk for Reynolds. Going to bring up Esmeralyn Valdez in the cleanup spot. Valdez, he's 0 for 2 today. 2 ground ball outs. Valdez swings at the first pitch. He fouls that one away. No balls, 1 strike. 2 Valdez. That changeup's gonna miss low and away. Count is even at 1-1. 2 Valdez. Here's the pitch. Gonna be fouled away as well for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Corbin Carroll is going to get to that in front of the warning track. And that's going to be out number 1. Going to bring out Ryan O'Hearn, the lefty. O'Hearn, he is 0 for 2. That sinker's going to miss low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. That's going to be ripped down the right field line, but just going to be foul. Count is even at 1-1. That cutter misses outside. Nice take by O'Hearn there. Two balls and 1 strike. Another liner. Rip foul though. Two balls and 2 strikes to O'Hearn. And that's going to be grounded to Tawa at first. He's going to throw to Perdomo at second. And Rodriguez not able to get to the bag in time. But nonetheless, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Great job getting at least that 1 out. Still going to be a runner on first base with 2 outs. Going to bring in Marcell Ozuna. He's 0 for 2 today. Rodriguez sets. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss on the changeup. Oh and 1 is the count. Swing and a miss on the high fastball for strike 2. And just like that, Rodriguez 1 strike away from getting down to the bottom of the 7th. As Rodriguez has not hit 20 pitches in any of these innings, he's looked phenomenal. That's going to miss upstairs. Ozuna lays that one off for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Marcell Ozuna. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped up. And looks like Perdomo is going to get under it for out number 3. Pittsburgh Pirates fans not happy. They are booing. And just like that, Pirates get a runner on first but can't do anything with it. It's going to be 3-0 still in favor of the D-backs as we head to the top of the 8th. That will most likely be Rodriguez's last inning. And the Marlins have actually come back to tie the ball game against the Phillies. The Phillies have blown a 6-0 lead, similar to the game yesterday with the D-backs and Pirates, so definitely going to keep tabs on the rest of that game. It's going to bring up Geraldo Perdomo. He is working with a 1-1 count after that foul ball. As Majinski will come back out on the mound for the Pirates. Gonna be popped up. Gets out of play though. It's gonna be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Perdomo. That's gonna be a blooper in a center field. And Triolo is gonna get there to make the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1. Gonna bring up Gabriel Moreno. He is 1 for 2. Had the 2-run shot in the 4th inning. Gonna be strike 1 on the sinker. Oh, 1 count. That's gonna be popped up. Gonna get out of play though. Count is now no balls and 2 strikes to Gabriel Moreno. Here's the pitch. That's going to be laced in the right field, but right at Valdez in right field. That's going to be out number 2. Great contact by Moreno, but just at the right fielder. Going to bring up Ketel Marte. Had a nice single in his last at bat. Going to be strike 1 on the high fastball. Oh, 1 is the count. That's going to be in the dirt on the splitter for ball 1. Count is even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be grounded to the second baseman, Brandon Lau. He's going to field that, throw on the first, and that's going to be out number 3. D-backs get nothing going there. It's still going to be a 3-0 lead for the D-backs as we head to the bottom of the 8th. I'll be right back. It is time for a bathroom break. Alright, we are back. It looks like Erod is actually going to stay on the mound. Pirates were able to get a runner on first while I was gone. Going to be a 0-1 account to Garcia, the center fielder. And Garcia is going to foul that one off. As Rodriguez is now at 100 pitches. I did see 2 pitchers warming up in the bullpen I believe it was Brandon Garcia and Jonathan Loizaga, so probably not going to finish this inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Garcia. That's going to be a pop-up. And Tawa, what a great catch. Over the head catch. Drops right into the glove, and that's going to be a big out, number 1. As Tim Tawa, the utility defensive player, is having a great day at first base today. It's going to bring up Henry Davis, the catcher. That's going to be popped up on the first pitch. And looks like Perdomo will get under for out number 2. What a great job by Erod to settle down and get 2 quick outs. As Henry Davis slammed the bat after he hit that. Very frustrated with himself. And just like that, 2 quick outs. Runner on first base is going to bring out the top of the lineup for the Pirates. And Erod is going to stay in the game. Potentially going to be able to finish this bottom of the 8th. As that fastball misses inside for ball 1. This ball game is flying by. We haven't even hit 2 hours. 1 ball, no strikes. As Rodriguez throws over to first. One 0 count to Nick Gonzalez. That's going to be popped up out of play. I have to imagine that if Gonzalez is able to get on here, that will be it for Rodriguez. Last batter, no matter what. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be lined into center. Barossa coming in, and he's going to make the catch. Great jump by Jorge Barossa. And Erod is going to be able to finish the 8th inning. 8 shutout innings. And one of the best performances on the mound for Erod this season. As he is just dealing today. Pirates have been able to get runners on base, so Erod has just been able to get out of it every single time as we head to the top of the 9th. D-backs still up 3-0. And after Erod had that shaky start right out of the All-Star break, absolutely love to see that for him. As of recent, he has just looked great on the mound. As after these D-backs come up to bat, 3 outs away from winning this series. What a big series it would be to win. Let's check back on the Marlins and Phillies game, as that game has gotten very close. And the Marlins have taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th. They came all the way back to tie it, and now they've taken the lead 8-6. As the Phillies are 3 outs away from getting swept. And this would be huge for the wild card race. As I mentioned, the D-backs only 1 game back from that second wild card spot. Or at least tying it. And with Pittsburgh and Washington both being a game behind the D-backs, a win today would be huge for the D-backs. Looks like the Nationals have finally scored, and that's now a 1-0 game in favor of Washington in the top of the 6th. And for the D-backs, that's going to bring up Max Kepler. First pitch swinging. That's going to be lined into left field, opposite field. And he has also had a great day at the plate, continuing on his great hitting in this series. Had an RBI single last at bat. Gets on base again with another single. It's going to be a runner on first and no outs. It's gonna bring up Nolan Arenado. And that is gonna be a first pitch strike, outer upper corner. Arenado, he's 0 for 3 today. No balls and 1 strike to Nolan Arenado. That's gonna be ball 1. Henry Davis is gonna challenge that. And that's just gonna miss low. Pirates gonna lose a challenge. We'll only have 1 challenge now in the bottom of the 9th. And on the other side for the Pirates hitting, there was at least 2 big strike calls where I thought the Pirates would challenge, but they would have won for sure. 1-1 count to Arenado. He checks his swing, but yeah, he was not able to hold back on that one. It's going to be strike 2. It's going to be a 1-2 count to Nolan Arenado. Runner on first, so no outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be lined into left, but just going to get foul. Because that would have gone to at least a wall. Nolan straightened that out a bit. Looked good for a second. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado for the long foul ball. And that's going to be a swing and miss on a splitter in the dirt for strike 3. It's going to be out number 1. And it looks like Brandon Garcia will be warming up in the bullpen. As Paul Sewald, as of right now, will not get the nod in the bottom of the 9th. Gonna bring up Tim Tawa. He is 0 for 3, but has had a great day defensively. He's gonna foul that one off for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. As that sweeper misses inside. That sinker's gonna miss for ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike to Tim Tawa. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball, but right to Triolo at shortstop. He's going to flip that to second, go on the first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play. And just like that, we head to the bottom of the 9th. Brandon Garcia looking to close this one out. 3 outs away from winning this series in Pittsburgh. 3-0 D-backs. And as I mentioned, here comes Brandon Garcia to close out this game. 1-for-1 in save opportunities. 2.25 ERA. Has to work through the heart of this Pirates lineup. Lau, Reynolds, and Valdez. First pitch swinging for Lau. He's going to foul that one off for strike one. Brandon Lau, he is 1-for-3. What a great sweeper. Lands at the top of the zone for strike two. And Lau's down 0-2 early. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Garcia. That's going to be a swing and a miss at the high sweeper. What a great pitch by Garcia and a great start for him. That's going to be strike three for the first out. As Lau is not even close to swinging at that. Or making contact with that. It's going to be out number one. It's going to bring up Brian Reynolds. And what a great start. Getting Lau out, especially after he hit the 2-run home run last night. And Reynolds is going to take a first pitch strike on the cutter. Going to be 0-1 to Brian Reynolds. Takes another strike, another cutter. And once again, now Reynolds is down to 0-2 in the count. As Garcia is just pumping the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Garcia sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside on the cutter for ball one. As Reynolds, another guy you want to be careful with. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Sweeper misses outside for ball two. Count is even. Two balls and 2 strikes to Brian Reynolds. Here's the pitch. That's going to be strike three right down the middle on the sinker as it freezes Brian Reynolds. And that's going to be another strikeout for out number 2 as Brandon Garcia is just looking excellent so far. As the D-backs are 1 out away from winning the series in Pittsburgh. It's going to bring up Esmeralin Valdez, the cleanup hitter. What a great win this would be today. As that cutter misses inside for ball one. One ball, no strike. That's going to be fouled out of play. 1-1. Esmeralin Valdez, he is 0-for-3 today. Couple of ground outs and a fly out. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a swing and a miss on the cutter. And just like that, the D-backs are 1 strike away from taking this series in Pittsburgh. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss upstairs for ball 2 on the cutter. Not a bad pitch there, but Valdez does not chase that one. Two balls and 2 strikes to Esmeralin Valdez. Garcia sets. Here's the pitch. That's going to be grounded. Foul. As Valdez, the only hitter in this inning to make Garcia work a bit. Ryan O'Hearn waits on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss in the dirt on the sweeper for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Big pitch coming up. Garcia sets. Here's the pitch. And that's gonna miss inside on the sinker. There's a nice walk from Valdez right there. It's gonna be a runner on first base with 2 outs. It's gonna bring up Ryan O'Hearn, who is 0 for 3. Lefty on lefty matchup. And Jonathan Loizaga will be warming up just in case. That's going to be a first pitch strike on the sinker. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's going to be grounded up the middle. Perdoma's going to field it, step on the bag. And just like that, that is going to end this ball game. The D-backs take the series finale 3-0. They take the series. And as I mentioned, I wanted the D-backs to win at least 2, and they make it happen. What a great ball game for the D-backs on both sides. Eduardo Rodriguez has probably, in my opinion, one of the more dominant pitching performances he's had this season. Absolutely the best one since coming out of the All-Star break. Throws 8 shutout innings as the Pirates cannot get anything going against him. On the other side, Gabriel Moreno with a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Max Kepler follows with an RBI single as the D-backs do a great job of getting runners on base and capitalizing when they needed to. As they had a tough matchup against Jared Jones, who looked stellar at times, but were able to get to him eventually. And just like that, the D-backs take the series as they win today 3-0. As we have an off day tomorrow before we head to Cleveland for another 3-game series to finish the road trip. Very happy with the results today. Very happy. Obviously, because of yesterday, I did not want to say anything. They don't want to jinx anything until this ball game was over. But just like that, Brandon Garcia does a great job of shutting down the Pirates in the 9th. Only allows the 1 runner on with the base on balls. Here we go. Let's go D-backs. What a great ball game today. As I mentioned, D-backs do have an off day tomorrow, but then they continue as they start a 3-game series in Cleveland on Friday. It's going to be a 4:10 start time for me, 7:10 start time Eastern, as it will be Mitch Bratt on the mound versus Tanner Bibby. As obviously you still want to win, games in this series against Cleveland, but the nice part about it is you're not facing teams like Washington and Pittsburgh where they are right behind you in the wild card race and could potentially overtake you if you start losing games against them. As after losing 2 games against the Washington Nationals, not a great series, but they bounce back and win this series and take 2 games against Pittsburgh, who are right behind the D-backs in the wild card race, and also great for the tiebreaker if it does come down to it, winning games against these teams. As the D-backs finish with 6 hits, Pirates with 5. And all around, just a much better ball game execution-wise in terms of the game yesterday. As they were interviewing Brandon Garcia. As I mentioned, time and time again, Brandon Garcia, he's been my favorite pitcher out of the bullpen this season. Just not only just great to have a dominant pitcher who can throw up a 0 when you need it, but also just a lefty. So, that's gonna do it for me today. Absolutely the shortest live commentary. We're just a little bit over 2 hours, 2 hours and 17 minutes. A very quick ball game, but nonetheless, that's going to do it for me today. Once again, a great showing from both sides of the ball for these D-backs. We're able to get a few runs. Dominant pitching from Eduardo Rodriguez. Brandon Garcia shuts it down in the 9th. With that being said, that's going to do it for me today. As I mentioned, tomorrow there is an off day, so no live commentary live stream, but I will pick it up on Friday. As we start a 3-game series in Cleveland to finish off the road trip. That's going to do it for me today, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning into the live stream. The support means everything to me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Was an early start today, but nonetheless got the win, took the series. That's going to do it for me today. I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you next time. See you guys.